Om Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvabhignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Yenaksharasamaamnyayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakarnam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim paninim sutrakarancha pranatosmi munitrayam Vagarthaviva sambrukto Vagarthah pratipattaye Jagatah pitarau vande Parvati parameshwarau Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Namaste, welcome back. You're all doing well. So, feeling grateful for you all. Belated Thanksgiving. Okay. So we have some Sanskrit on the board. Hopefully those words look familiar. Hopefully this doesn't look too far out of the realm of things. So we're going to practice this problem on the board, but before we do that, let's just look at our Guru-śabdha. That is Hari-śabdha. Here's Guru-śabdha. We can chant it together. Guruhu, Guru, Guravaha. Gurum, Guru, Gurun. Guruna, Gurubhyam, Guru Bihi. You can chant with me. Gurave, Gurubhyam, Gurubhyaha. It's fifth case now. Guroho, Gurubhyam, Gurubhyaha. Sixth case. Guroho, Gurvoho, Gurunam. Seventh case. Guru, Gurvoho, Gurushu. He Guru, He Guru, He Guravaha. Okay. So it's okay. We'll practice this a little bit more. So don't worry. Hopefully it's becoming more familiar. I know we had some break in between, so gotta refresh our mind a little bit. So I'm gonna just share screen from the iPad, and then we can do this problem together. Okay, so we see Mahabahuhu Tasmin Kshetre Gurun Bandhun Cha Ikshate. Okay, so I just chose the longest sentence because I thought that might be the most helpful for us, right? Just to refresh us, get some practice for this as well. Okay, so we really want to pick up always with the verb. So we see ikshate there. Ikshate is our tingantam padam. So there's a little anuswara missing, but tingantam padam, the dhatu is iksh dhatu, right? This is 1A to C, right? We know it's atmanepada, you see the ikshate, A, right? So it's 1A. Iksh to C. So this is lat lakaraha, kartari prayoga, third one. So you don't see that yakara, that's why you know it's not karmani, right? Kartari. So far we know He, she, it sees something. Okay, so sees. Okay, we want to pick up with our 1-1 in this sentence. So I'll take maha bahuhu. Let me know if you have any questions or you want me to slow down. So this is mahabahu śābda. It's ukaranta pullinga. So it means Arjuna. So really when you look at the word bahu means arm, maha means great. So one who has great arms. He really was doing a lot of bicep curls. This is Arjuna. He's mahabahu. This is u ending masculine. Okay. So we know that this is going to be our Prathama Vibhaktihi Ekavachanam, and this is Kartari Prathama to Ikshate, right? We're in Kartari Prayoga, so that makes sense. It's Kartari Prathama. Okay. Now we want to pick up our, what does he see? What does Arjuna see? So there's a few things he sees. Can you identify those? Yes, you can shake your head. All right, so we'll pick up some of the next words. All right, so the next word we want to pick up is bandhun. So bandhun, I go right to left, you see? Right to left. So bandhun, which is bandhu shabda, meaning a friend. So I hope I add a ukara there. So this should be bandhu. It's 2-3. Karmani ditiya to ikshate. Right? We know it's just like gurun 2-3. And second case is often the object. So this is second case, diya, in the sense of object. Karmani to ikshate. So he sees his bandhus. What does bandhu mean? Friend. Right? But they're plural here. So bandhun. Arjuna sees friends. So then the next one we see is gurun. Right? It says gurun cha bandhun, gurun bandhun cha. So we see gurun, gurun. We know it's the same, basically the same thing, right? Guru-śabdha. Gu ending masculine, meaning teacher. Right? 2-3, just like what we saw with bandhun. Karmani ditiya to ikshate. So hopefully this is becoming more familiar, right? So Arjuna sees what? Arjuna sees his friends and teachers. All right, so we're going to come back. Let's look at our sentence. Pick up the next word. Gurun bandhun cha. And then tasmin kshetre. So we're going to take up cha. We never looked at cha. So cha is actually meaning and it's an avyaya. Okay, avyaya means it does not decline. So we don't say chaha cho chaha, cham cho cha. No, we don't. We don't do that, right? It's indeclinable. So that's why there's indeclinable means really there's no supratyaya, there's not going to be a vibhakti artha, right? So all of those things are not there. So we just write the pratipadika as cha, and we call it a day. Okay, let me know if you have any questions in the chat. So we've tasmin kshetre. I'm going right to left again, right? So we're going to pick up kshetre. Kshetra is not ukaranta, right? This is akaranta, masculine, meaning field. Even if it's neuter, right? Well, the neuter could be more things, but yeah. Adhikarane saptami to ikshate. So 7-1. So we know it's right in the field. So Arjuna sees friends and teachers where? Kshetre, in the kshetra, in the field. So this is the translation so far. And our last word, tasmin. Tad shabda. So this is dakaranta sarvanama, masculine. Saptami vibhakti ekavachanam. And this is basically an adjective to the kshetra, right? In that field. Okay, so the full sentence. Mahabahuhu tasmin kshetre gurun bandhun cha ikshate. Looks really scary, right? But we just have to go one by one. Mahabahuhu ikshate. Arjuna sees. Arjuna sees what? Arjuna sees the gurus and bandhus, friends. Where? They see it in tasmin kshetre, in that field. Right? In that field, they see, he sees. Oh, tasmin. So tasmin, why I chose so it depends on kshetra. So tasmin, gender declines like kshetra. We need to find out what the gender of kshetra is. So we need to, I thought it was akaranta pullinga, but that's why I chose akaranta pullinga, but it might be neuter. We'll have to check up on that. Kshetra is neuter. Okay, so someone just checked. Kshetra is neuter. Right, so then the pratipadika is going to be kshetram. Okay, so this is neuter, and this is going to be then neuter. So thanks for checking that out. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we corrected that right there. So this is dakaranta napumsakalinga sarvanama shabda. Really, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what I was. Okay. Yes, sorry. Okay, so I'm a little bit off. So it is kshetra. We were correct. Just the only thing is we want to write akaranta, napumsakalinga, just like jnana shabda, just like what we were learning. Okay. So sometimes you have to wake me up too. Not alert right now. Okay, so I'm right there with you. So Arjuna sees friends and teachers in the field, right? So the main thing though, right? Even if you didn't get the gender here, you can still get the translation. Okay. So just so we know that, right? Now, because it's neuter, it could be multiple other things, like kshetra could be 1-3 or 2-3, but we know we're talking about, we see tasmin. Tasmin is kind of indicator, gives it away. That's going to be 7-1. So we know that kshetra is also going to be 7-1. I mean, yeah, kshetra could be 1-2 or 2-2 rather. All right. Okay, so what we want to do is we're going to switch over books to our Sandhi book. Unless anyone else has any questions there in the chat. What I want to do is go back to, we were looking at Lopah Sakalasya in our last class. So this is, you can look in the index for Lopah Sakalasya. Again, this looks like a very intense sandhi. It's not just the name Shakala is the name of a muni, is the name of one of the teachers who helped form this rule. So Panini Muni is giving homage. He's paying his respects to Shakala for giving this rule. Okay, but Shakala has really nothing to do with the rule itself. The main word here, right, is Lopah. Right, and Lopah is an elision or removal of a letter. Okay, so let's look at the rule. When ya or va, and we saw this in our last class, so I'm going a little bit faster. Ya va is at the end of a pada. What's a pada? Pada is a word, right? It can be tingantam padam or subantam padam. So ya va at the end of a word, preceded by avarna, which is or a, it's any kind of a, and immediately followed by ash, then there is elision of yava. Okay, that sounds like a lot, right? Where this becomes really useful, let's look at the example. Okay, when you see, for example, hare plus iha. Hare plus iha. When you have any diphthong, like, right, a, o, I, ow, right, h preceding any vowel, you're going to get h, o, ya, va, ya, vaha, sandhi. Okay, so head nods if that's sounding familiar. Yeah. Okay, so a becomes I. So get harai plus iha. So now we have yakara preceding ash. Now what's ash? Ash is any vowel and any soft consonant, right? Because it ends here. Any vowel and soft consonant. So here we have yakara followed by a vowel. So this yakara is optionally lopad. If I can make it a verb, lopad. Loped. So then it's hara iha or hara iha. Okay, here we have Vishnu plus iha. Again, it just has to be or ya or va. So this yava of Lopah Sakalasya almost always comes from ho yava yava sandhi. Okay, so these two things come together. So when you do ho yava yava sandhi, think about whether you need this Lopah Sakalasya. Meaning that if it originally was a o or a ekara, then this rule might be in an application, right? Because o or a become ya or va, and then you have yava followed by a vowel, and that yava gets removed, right? Vishnav plus iha, Vakara followed by ikara. That there's an optional lopa, so then you have two forms, Vishna iha or Vishnaviha. Okay, there's one question, Hariprasadji, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes, Mahodaya. I follow this well, but why I'm also familiar with Ayava Yava Sandhiḥ. Why is it called Echo? Yeah, Eva, yeah,
Yeah, that's a great question. So really, we called it just Ayavayavasa.
Correct.
But the Panini Sutra, where this originally comes from, the whole sutra is Echo Yavaya. You don't need to know that.
Okay.
But she listed the whole sutra. So I just read that, but this is really just Ayavayavasa.
Okay, got it.
What the Echaha means is that Panini himself tells us when you have H as the Purva letter, then this rule will be in application.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And after applying this rule, further sandhi rules such as guna sandhi or dirgha sandhi cannot be applied, right? Because here you can do guna if you look at it, Vishnaviha or Hariha, but you can't apply after you do Lopah Sakalasya. That's it. Okay, so you don't go ahead and apply the guna after that. Okay, so we applied some of these. I do want to look at the resolve section. Okay. So just remember that originally, right, we want, so it needs to be yava, but yava coming from lopaḥ yava. So originally it could be A or O. A or O, right? A or O make ya or va. Okay, so for resolving the sandhi, ta ahuhu. So it can be te ahuhu or to ahuhu. Ahuhu is a verb. They means, right, all of them, they all speak. Now it could be to, right, to, but there's no word to. So you kind of, that's just context, right? We know tad shabda, 1, 3, te. Te, ahuhu, then you get echayavayava, right? If you need help with that, then it becomes taiha, and then that gets lopad. Okay. Now in the chat, you can tell me yeah, let's just do number 3. You can tell me in the chat what is the original for number 3. Looking good. What's the difference between 1 and 4? Is there's a question? Nothing. It's a typo. So we can probably report that to Mehdaji. Okay, so it is ete iha. So all the answers have been correct, right? Ete iha. Etad shabda, right? Ete iha. Okay. You can look at, should we do one more? Okay, so number 5, tasma iha. This one's a little bit more tricky, right? Tasma iha. Tasma iha. Mm-hmm. So if we look at, right, if we want to have this here, just so we can see it, right? I have, look at what happens when I, let me do it in Devanagari. Tasmai, oh, let me make these look different. Iha, okay? So when I have I plus E, what do I get after that? Can you tell me in the chat? When you get I plus E, what happens first? I of. So yeah, I, right? We get I. So we get tasmai iha. Now what happens? We have yakara and we have ash. So this yakara can be optionally elided. So you get tasma plus iha. Sorry, let me make that again clear. My E's are not very clear. Okay, so I wanted to do this example because, right, we get, you can also, if you have akara at the end, it could be I originally. So where is yava here? Yava here is, again, we have to know that Lopah śākalasya, this is always going to happen usually after ho yava sandhi. So first we can add a yakara and then work backwards. So tasmai plus iha. And then what is the original version of, if we remove the ho yava, it's tasmai. Okay, so this is a little bit more tricky if you're going backwards. Luckily, right? Yeah, like, I don't know if we're lucky actually. Yeah, never mind. So there's one more question. What is ash? Again, ash is any vowel any vowel or any soft consonant. But really, here it's the vowels are more important. Okay, let's do number 7. Va. Va, are. So if we look at, we already know for number 5, if we it's going to be I or av, which was original. So it can be vau are, or it can be vai are. The word is actually vai are. Okay, vai is an indeclinable word. It's very peculiar. It just means it adds emphasis. It adds emphasis to something. We get this in like Hindi, Gujarati, like va. Va are. Kind of the same thing. So get vai are. Okay, so I hope that's any other ones that anyone looking at that they want to do? Okay, so just quickly, right? Number 2, uchyata iti. Then it's uchyate iti. How do we get the yava? Again, right? We apply Lopah Sakalasya. I mean, we apply Echoyavayava. So uchyate iti becomes uchyatai iti. And then the yakara goes and then becomes uchyata iti. So this is hard to go backwards if you don't know the original word, right? The ahuhu is just the same as number 1. Te ahuhu. Tasya uktam. Okay. Again, this is actually tasyai uktam. And va iha is going to be the same as this. Vai iha. Will it become uchyata iti? Yeah, you can also just put it together like that as well. You don't need to keep the gap. You can put it together like that as well. There's a question about tasyai. Tasyai is also is a feminine, so we can see that there. Okay, so in the next class, so there's no homework because we just did the homework together. What we'll do for the next class is we're going to look at our last called Purva Rupa Sandhi. There's this and there's Para Rupa Sandhi. These two go together, Purva Rupa Sandhi and Para Rupa Sandhi. These are the last two in the Ach Sandhi. Okay, so we're almost Ach Sandhi graduates. Okay, but I think we need a review also. It seems like we started like, I don't even know if coronavirus was a thing, like when we started a long time. Okay, so Purva Rupa Sandhi, just to introduce the topic as before the next class, Rupa means a form. Purva means that which is before, that which precedes. So we're going to take the form, Rupa, of the Purva. Okay, and then we'll see Para Rupa. What do you think Para Rupa means? Taking the form of the, that one, yeah. This one. My image gets inverted for you all, so I always forget that. Okay. We'll finish with the prayer. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Take a 5-minute break and then come back at 8:10.